Good morning. Today we are going to look at the prefixes and their conversions. We need to understand that in science we deal with a lot of numbers. Other numbers may be very big numbers and other numbers may be very small numbers. So in order to handle these numbers, a way or convenient way of handling these numbers have been developed or devised, which is the use of prefixes. Before we go into the conversion of units, we need to understand what is the prefix. A prefix is a word that comes before another word. A prefix is a word that comes before another word. And in science, usually we will use these prefixes as symbols to represent actual values of units. Therefore, in the word centimeter, cent is a prefix because it is coming before the meter. Cent is the prefix. Now let's look at a list of common prefixes that are widely used. Now, these are some of the common prefixes that are widely used in science, and when you look at them, they represent positive powers. Now, when the multiples of 10 are in form of positive numbers, we call these as multiples because they magnify whatever unit they are applied to. They will magnify. So if this is put to any unit, it means that unit has been multiplied by that factor. That unit has been multiplied by this factor. So this is why they are called multiples. Usually they are used to magnify numbers. Let's look at another set of prefixes, and these they demagnify numbers, and hence they are called submultiples because they reduce the value of units. So the other set of prefixes, which are called submultiples, they have negative indices. Now, negative indices or powers, these help to reduce the unit to which it is assigned. So we are going to look at how these prefixes now are used in real solving of problems or during calculations, and how you can migrate from one unit to another. Yeah, we are going to convert some of the units given to the SI units, which is the meter. For length, particularly we use examples of length and not as a physical quantity. We just deal with the length, but the same procedures we are going to look at can be applied to mass, temperature, or the quantities in physics. These prefixes can be applied. solutions. Now, when we are changing a unit that contains a prefix, the idea, if we are told to express two SI units, so what they want us is just to get rid of the prefix as a symbol, and that prefix we substitute the actual value, what it represents. For instance, in this case, for A, we have 20 micrometers into meters. So we'll go by 20 micrometer, you write the way it is. You say 20. Now remember that micro is a multiple with a negative index of 6. So we write it that way. Then again, we have to remember the law of indices. Any number written like that will give us 1 over a to the power n. So in this case, we have 10 or minus 6 will be written as that. So that's how we are going to express our value for the macro as we simplify it. The next step, we have to expand. What does 10 to the power 6 mean? That is a million. Just say now 10 times 1 over. So we expand that one. So we are going to have 20 times 1 over 1 million of a meter. So we can now simplify. Cancel that, cancel that. So we have divided by 10 on both sides. We're going to have 0 point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So we are going to have 0.0002 of a meter. 0.002 of a meter. Therefore, how can we rewrite this? Let's say, therefore, $20 micrometers is given us 0. Or we can express the same value to scientific notation or standard form, which will be 2.0 times 10 to the power -5 of a meter. So it can be end here. So that is what the meaning of 20 micrometers in meters. So 20 micrometers in meters, we have that decimal number or in scientific notation. B, for B, is again we are dealing with submultiples. So we write 50 millimeters, which is the same as 50 by 10 power minus 3. We replace the milli. The value of the milli here is this one. That's a milli. Then this is 50. The meter, divided by 10, then this will give us 0.05. 0.05 of a meter. So we can say 50 millimeter is the same as 0.05 of a meter, or you can express that number to standard form or we can express that number to a in scientific notation, and it will be 5.0 times 10 to the power negative 2. The other one, in decimal form, it will be 0.05 meters. Now, this has been how we can work with submultiples, from changing from any given unit with a subscript with a prefix to a meter. Now, what if we are given multiples? For multiples, it's very easy and straightforward because you don't need to maneuver through indices, rows of indices. This one you just go direct. So C, 30 kilometers, simply be written as, remember, our job is to get rid of the prefix. So this will give us 30 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 of a meter. So the next step is just we expand. What does 10 to the power 3 mean? So when we expand 10 to the power 3 to give us 1,000, and that 1,000 multiplied by 30, get 30,000 of a meter, 30,000 meters. That is how we can deal with the multiples. Now, however, this is a direct change where you are changing from a given prefix to a meter. What if you have prefixes that are crossing from micro to milli or cent to nano and the like? So how do we change that? Let's look at an example. So we have these two examples, which will stand as a standard example on how you can move from one given prefix to another, whether being a multiple or a submultiple. Now, for this one, you need to bear in mind that you are going to have two stages in which you have to solve this. The first stage is finding the standard scale for that given prefix, and after that, that's when you compare the two given prefixes. The first one, you need to make two standard scales for both given prefixes. We'll start with the decimeter. You need to make a scale of 1 to how many meters does that represent. So if we are given 1 decimeter, what does that mean? How many meters are in 1 decimeter? So as usual, we know how to change from decimeters to meters. So we are just going to substitute this. The decimeter is 10 to the power negative 1. Yes, now the decimeter is 10 to the power negative 1. Then on the meter. So this is the same as 0.1 of a meter. Remember, 10 to the power negative 1 is the same as 1 over 10. 1 over 10 is the same as 0.1 of a meter. Now, dealing with the scales with decimal points offers a challenge. So multiply by 10 here, multiply by 10 this side. Now this will give us 1 meter will be represented by 10 decimeters, or 10 decimeters is equal to 1 meter. So we have created a standard scale that will help us to cross the decimeter to any other given prefix. Now we need also to make a standard scale for centimeter. Then 1 centimeter is the same as 1 times 10 to the negative 2 over meter. Remember cent is 10 to the power negative 2. So 1 centimeter is the same as 0.01 of a meter, but dealing with the decimal numbers also poses a challenge, so we have multiplied by 100 here, multiplied by 100 there. So it will be found that 100 centimeters actually is equal to 1 meter. 100 centimeters is actually 1 meter. There, from this point, you can say this can be compared and this can be compared, because 1 meter is the same as 1 meter. So therefore it is true to say 10 decimeters is the same as 100 centimeters or 100 centimeters. 10 decimeters is the same as 100 centimeters. Now we will look at our question. Our question, we are looking for 30 decimeters. Now how many meters can be in 30 decimeters? Having found the standard scales and comparing, then here we'll simply use cross multiplication. Cross multiply, give us 10 decimeters divided by x, 30 decimeters multiplied by 100 centimeters. Then our interest is in the 30, also in the x. So we divide. So the decimeters will disappear, we just remain with the centimeter. Therefore, I can say that 30 decimeters is actually equivalent to 300 centimeters. 300 centimeters. So we have converted from decimeter to centimeters. But however, you can't go direct from decimeter to meter. You first of all need to make a standard scale that will help you to cross over. Let's look at the second question. B. So we want to change 1,000 micrometers to millimeters. 1,000 micrometers to millimeters. As usual, first we need to make a standard scale for micro. How many micrometers make 1 meter? So if I have a 1 micrometer, that would be 1 micrometer is the same as 1 times 10 to the negative 6 meters. Then this one, as usual, is the same as 0.1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So 1 micrometer is the same as 0.000001 of a meter, but dealing with this type of numbers is not okay. So we multiply by 1 million here and here. So with this one now we are comfortable. We can say 1 million micrometers gives us a meter. 1 million micrometers gives us a meter. Therefore, we are done with a standard scale for micro to meter. We also need to make a standard scale for millimeter. So we start 1 millimeter. The same as 1. So 1 millimeter is the same as 1 times 10 to the power of 3. So it will give us 0.0. Yeah, so we have that. So it's 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is the same as 0.01 of a meter. So dealing with again decimal places is not okay. We multiply by 1,000. So we can see that 1,000 meters may give 1 millimeters. 1,000 meters may give 1,000 millimeters may give 1 meter. So therefore we are now going to compare these two. So we have So we have 1 million micrometer to give us 1 meter. On the other hand, we have 1,000 millimeters to give us 1 meter. So I can say this and that can be compared. So therefore we will say that one million micrometer is the same as 1,000 millimeters. 1 million micrometers is the same as 1,000 millimeters. Now in our question we have 100 micrometers. As usual, we are just going to use cross multiplication to get the value of x. So we have 1 million micrometers to be equal to 100 micrometers multiplied by 1,000 millimeters. Our interest is in x. In x and the millimeter is in x and the millimeter. So we divide out. Yeah, so we divide both hands by 1 million micrometers. So the micro goes. So we have this goes, then this side we have 3 zeros, 3 zero goes to there, to there. So you find that 100 micrometers is the same as 0.1 of a millimeter. 100 micrometers is the same as 0.1 of a millimeter. So this is the way we can maneuver whenever you are dealing with prefixes and when you want to change from one prefix to another. Thank you for the lesson for today.